First things first, you're going to want to make sure you give your potatoes a good scrub. You could also peel them, but I prefer to have my french fries with the skin on. So just use a sponge and get them nice and clean. No soap. Before we put our cutting board down, we're going to need to put a wet rag. That way your cutting board doesn't slip when you're using it. And when you put your chef's knives out, always have it facing away from you. Now when you're going to use your chef's knife, it's really proper that you hold it correctly. So we are going to use a pinch grip with our thumb, index finger, wrapped right around where the bolster is. You can see here I'm pinching it right there on the blade, and then I have my other 3 fingers wrapped around the handle. This is going to ensure that we have a lot of good strength while also maintaining precision and accuracy while using the knife. Never hold your knife like that. I see students doing that a lot with their index finger on top of the blade. That's not going to work. You're going to end up with instability. Also, you're not chopping down a tree, so don't hold your knife just on the handle. So we're going to begin cutting our potato here. We're going to set it up, make sure it's nice and stable. And now I'm going to do my pinch grip, get my knife ready. And also my other hand, I'm going to have my fingers curled under in what we call the claw. And the blade is going to come up right against my knuckles. That way I can ensure precision. And I'm going to cut my potato there. Now this is to show you, like if you have a potato and you don't have a flat surface on the bottom, it's going to wobble around. So I've cut it in half here, and I'm going to cut these first ones kind of in like a JoJo cut. So like if you went to a restaurant, you got JoJo's, you could get your french fries kind of in that style of cut. For a more traditional style of french fries, like you would see in a restaurant, you're going to cut your potato on its side into planks. Make sure your potato there is really stable. If it's not, you can round off one end and then cut from that side. You just want to make sure that you're being safe. You know, have your fingers tucked in as you're cutting your planks. And once you have your planks cut, you know, you can stack them about 2 at a time. I wouldn't go more than 2, especially if you're beginning with your knives. And you're going to cut into your french fries. And you can see I'm just kind of going down and out with the knife. A little bit slippage there. So there we go. There's our french fries. You're going to want to use a large soup or stew pot, and you're going to put this on your stove. And with the stove off, we're going to add in some canola oil. You could also use peanut oil or vegetable oil, any oil with a high smoke point, which means when you heat it up, it's not going to start smoking. It's not going to burn off. Okay, so if you used olive oil, that would happen. And this canola oil is high heat, so the temperature we're going to set ours to, which is about 375, is going to be perfect for that. I am using a thermometer gun to check to see what the temperature of the oil is. Now I haven't even started heating it up yet, and you can see it's kind of just room temperature, 70.5 degrees. We're going to want to get this up between 350 and 375 Fahrenheit. If you don't have a thermometer, another way is you can stick the end of a wooden spoon into the oil, and you'll see some bubbles form around the spoon. Now if it's bubbling super hard, that means your oil is too hot, and you're going to need to turn down the temperature a bit. So I can see my oil is heated up now between 350 and 375 degrees, so they're ready for the french fries. Using some metal tongs so they don't melt in the oil, I'm going to carefully put the french fries into the oil for the first fry. We're going to be frying these twice. This is the first fry, so I'm carefully putting them in there. You don't want to overcrowd your oil. You can do this in batches. I did about 3 different batches here. So I'm going to put them in, and I'm going to set my timer for a total of 2 minutes. Please keep in mind you'll be frying your potato french fries 2 times. So for the first time you fry it, you're only going to do it for about 2 minutes. You can see after I've added my french fries for the first fry, the temperature has dropped. It's not 350 at all, so I'm going to adjust my heat accordingly to try to bring that temperature up. I've got about 1 minute and 10 seconds left. And the reason we fry our french fries twice is because when you take them out of the fryer, the moisture is going to migrate from inside the french fry to the outside. And after it cools, it's going to get soggy. So once it cools and it gets soggy, by frying it again, you can boil off that moisture and you'll have crisp french fries. As you reach the end of your 2 minutes, you're going to prepare maybe a shallow pan with some paper towels to absorb the excess oil. And you're going to use your metal tongs to carefully take out some fries a little bit at a time. Now remember, this isn't a race. If it cooks a little bit longer than 2 minutes, you're not going to lose any quality. Okay, so just take a little bit out at a time. And this was the first fry, and so they're going to shake out that excess oil on that paper towel. Now as you're getting ready to fry them the second time, you're going to want to bring the temperature of your oil back up to 350 degrees. So this is why it's really imperative that you do have a thermometer of some sort. Yeah, you could use the wooden spoon technique, but it's just not going to be as accurate. So this is my second fry. I'm putting them into the hot oil. And so as we fry them the second time, all that moisture that came from the center of the french fry and as it was cooling, when on the outside of the french fry made it soggy, it's going to boil off. This is going to turn out really nicely, and after you make french fries at home for the first time and they come out crispy, you're going to wonder why some of those high-end restaurants you eat at can't get their french fries correct, because they're only frying them once, and so they're coming out really soggy. And you can see in the glimmer in the camera there, that is the moisture on the french fries that is going to boil off, and you're going to be left with nothing but a crispy french fry with a soft middle. So let's go ahead and put these back into our hot oil here. We're just going to do a little bit at the time. We're not going to overcrowd our oil because safety first. And as you are frying, as I mentioned in class before, you should keep a lid close by in case you need to cover it. Now, this is not going to catch on fire, as long as you're being careful and you are monitoring the temperature. So now they're in the oil, and we're going to get my thermometer, check the temperature, see where we're at. Perfect, almost 350, and we are going to set a timer for 5 minutes. So the second fry is for 5 minutes. So as they're coming up on our 5-minute mark, I'm just going to give it a little shake, make sure the french fries aren't stuck together. And you can start looking at the different colors of the french fries. Once they become a little bit brown, you want golden brown, and once they become a little bit brown, that means they've been cooking and maybe a little bit overdone. And you can go ahead and start removing them. And so the tongs are really great for that, because you can pick out the ones that are done, and then the ones that are a little bit more pale, you can take out later. So I'm gonna get my paper towel here, and I'm gonna take them out. You see this one's done. And this is what's so great about doing them with a metal tong and on your stovetop, is you can kind of pick the fries out as they're cooking and see which ones are done and which ones aren't done. If you have a deep fryer, you're going to be able to fry a lot more french fries faster in larger batches, but you're not going to end up with each fry ending up exactly how you like it. So I'm just going to continue on pulling these fries out just a couple at a time, see which ones are done. Once all the excess oil has been drenched up by the paper towels, you're going to use a large bowl or a large pot, and we're going to season our french fries. So I'm going to take them out of the pan, and I'm going to put them in our large pot, and this is just because I didn't have a large bowl handy at the time. And we're going to season them, and you can season them with salt, pepper, maybe garlic powder. I'm using pink salt, Himalayan salt here. It's a little bit healthier than normal table salt. And I'm going to, you could use table salt if that's what you had. And I'm going to give it a good shake. Just make sure all the seasonings are evenly distributed. And there you have it. You have a nice plate of golden french fries that you can enjoy with some ketchup or any sauces of your choice.
Pieces so big, but these ones are so small. I think they know how to dip. Why is your hand green?
John, I can post pictures of us.
Why is your hand green?
If you want to post a couple, you can, honey.
Mike, why is your hand green?
It's green? I don't think it's green. Cut.